idea for the episode Forgiven came from two areas. First of all, we had made a pilot called Amazon High with an actress named Selma Blair, who we recognized in the pilot was very talented and very interesting. And we talked Liz Friedman, who was one of the producers on the Amazon High, and also on Xena, a very influential part of Xena, was talking to Selma and said, would you like to come back and do an episode? And she said yes. And you know, so I said, well, let's come up with a cool part for Selma Blair for this series. Now I wrote the script. We got Selma Blair. Her career was evolving, and she was no longer available. But we got a terrific actress in Sherry Appleby, and I think it worked terrific. And I think she did a great job with it. But that was the impetus of that episode.
Did you throw that?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Your face.
Then don't look at it.
We always were looking for another young character that we could bring in. You know, that was from day one. Effany was one that we brought in earlier. A young, you know, another female, strong female character.
You know, it's funny with when Tara, you know, the scene where Tara came around and she was supposed to kill Gabrielle. I remember asking Rob, I said, Rob, I don't understand how Gabrielle can beat up 10 guys with her staff and then suddenly this 13-year-old girl can come and just kick her ass. You know, help me, I don't understand. And so then they said, you know, you're right, Renee, we should look at this in another way. And so basically it became that Gabrielle was trying to evade a fight, and that basically led her to have a nice little bruise and scratch around her. And it became a comedic beat. It's great. There's something that I'm not getting here, something you're not telling me.
She reminds me a little bit of me.
Oh, no. I knew you were evil, but you're obnoxious, too?
I've raised teenagers. I have grandchildren you know, that are now getting into teenage things. So I really felt one of the characters that is very universal who I wanted to explore was the rebellious teenager, the angry young teenager that Xena could see as a version of herself when she was younger.
Well, not all of us are strong enough to face the jaws of our conscience alone. People come to me who are close to being driven mad by remorse and guilt. Soldiers who have killed too often in battle. Rich men and women who have nightmares about what they did to accumulate their wealth. The urn gives them strength to face those demons within. Do you understand?
I do.
The other thing was the question of Xena's guilt and her ability or inability to forgive herself for what she did in the past.
I heard you were pretty bad once upon a time. Somebody must have given you a chance to turn it all around.
There's always been a thing about, I think part of what Xena represented to the audience was that even whatever mistakes you had made in your life, you could overcome them. That she comes from this very dark past, and now she's turned herself around. My tagline description of it used to be that Hercules is the hero that you hope is out there, and Xena's the hero that you hope is in here, that you can get past what you've done.
I always felt from day one that Xena shouldn't forgive herself, that she should go on with life, function, have a full life, continue to do good, continue to try to make up for it. But there are some things one does in life that you just can't forgive. I mean, it's very convenient in modern culture. We always talk about forgiveness and you know, Xena, well, the things she did in the past, for her to just forgive them is not the heroic thing to do. The heroic thing to do is to continue to carry the sense of guilt and the need to rectify what she did in the past, and that was her driving thing. So forgiving herself was not something she was interested in.
But I know this. For people who need to forgive themselves in order to move on in life, This urn can be very meaningful.
Like somebody like you knows anything about feeling guilty.
I know. Believe me, I know.
Let me say one more thing about The Forgiven. The last scene of The Forgiven was in many ways the first thing I came up with The Forgiven, which was there is this chalice that can give forgiveness, and Gabrielle wanted forgiveness for so much of that, what had gone on in the third season. She needed to be cleansed. She needed the ceremony of forgiveness. Xena didn't want it.
You are forgiven for past misdeeds. Go now and do good.
What's Xena doing? Doesn't she want to be forgiven?
So that scene at the end of Forgiven, when Xena's standing at the back of the temple, and she turns and walks out. I had seen The Searchers not too long before, and at the end, if you remember, John Wayne is standing outside and they close the door. John, he in some ways saved the day, brought Natalie Wood home, but he can't be accepted into the home because he has just too much anger and there's just too much fury in him, so he can't be in that domestic situation. So if you're going to steal from somebody, John Ford is the best there is. So the idea was that she's walking away. She knows that this temple, that is a place of forgiveness, is not for her. She still has to redeem herself. She has much more to do.